You are Locked On Texas Tech, your daily podcast on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Great to be with you again on Locked On Texas Tech on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, always free and available on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts. With the only Chris Level, I'm Casey Cowan. Chris, great to be back with you as we are getting set for Elite Eight action coming up Saturday afternoon. It's Texas Tech and Florida for a chance to advance to the Final Four in San Antonio. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time getting ready for the Gators today. We'll ask you about any potential Big 12 comparison, anything that we can extrapolate from what we saw in the regular season that could be comparable to Florida. Against Maryland was the most that I had been able to see Florida in action so far this year. Here's my expert analysis. Listen closely. They're really freaking good. So if you didn't know that, now you know. But, Chris, I'm kind of curious about your feel for the Gators. I didn't know if you'd had a chance to really see much of them in the regular season, but obviously turning a lot of heads in the national tournament. A one seed, obviously, so a resume that speaks for itself. And maybe even with some of the stiff challenges we saw in the Big 12, the toughest test yet? I want to get to that question with you, but just some thoughts on approaching another Elite Eight for Texas Tech, third since 2018. And an opponent, we can go back and probably split some hairs on this, but an opponent in the Elite Eight this time around that may be the toughest of any of those you've faced in this round so far. What do you think?
Well, we got what it takes to take what you got, and the peas wouldn't be jumping if the water wasn't hot. Okay, that's where we're at. Okay, that's where we're at.
Let's go.
This will be the best. Like I mean, this is Houston quality. There really is no Big 12 comparison here because Houston is elite defensively with a good offense. This Florida team is elite on offense. I mean, they average 85, 86 a game, and they can score from all five spots on the floor. Everybody can shoot the three. It's you've got bigs that can step out and knock them down. It's just, and they maybe have the player of the year in the country and Walter Clayton Jr. Averaging about 18 a game. So this is going to take about everything you've got here, but I'm just thankful that you have an opportunity. And if you win this game, I'll say this too: if you win this game, you are going to walk out of this thing with the true belief that you can beat anybody walking the face of the earth playing college basketball, because that would signal to you we can go win a championship now. Because if you knock these guys off, because there are a lot of people that have these guys penciled in to the finals and as champions and all those things, and understandably so. They are 33-4. As I look at it, they have losses at Kentucky. They've lost to Missouri, at Tennessee, and at Georgia. That's it. All four SEC losses, most of those on the road. And they just are well-rounded. And they have maybe the best player in the country. I mean, you're going to hear a lot of Cooper Flag, and understandably so, but Walter Clayton Jr. may be the best guard playing right now. And we just saw a really good one of Bennett Sturts. This is a bit of a different skill set here with Walter Clayton Jr., and he's got a lot more around him than Bennett Sturts did. A lot.
Yeah. I was thinking about some of those previous Elite Eights, Gonzaga, Villanova. Villanova goes on to be a national champion, and you've got another one of those type of candidates, obviously, here with Florida. But, Chris, I know the pressure ramps up, the urgency ramps up, all these things with each win you get in each subsequent round. And I'm just kind of curious from your perspective, being as close to the team as you are, how do they go about handling those things? Is this a loose group? Are they intensely focused at all times, and that's how they handle it? I mean, are they joking around? What's been the approach to just handle the magnifying glass that comes with this and just gets bigger and bigger with every round that you go through?
Yeah, that's the concern in this short turnaround here. Again, just like in Wichita, you're going to get squeezed. You're going to play the late game, and then you're going to play the early game. And so every hour matters. But this is a group that just kind of rolls with the punches. I mean, it's not, You know, I don't see a bunch of highs and lows with their emotional. You know, I wonder, do you have enough minutes available to you that are high quality, because you continue to play with a shortened rotation, and at some point you fear that you're going to get the old diminishing returns aspect that creeps into this deal. And you kind of wondered about that versus Arkansas, like, okay, this is what their empty tank, or this is what them on an empty tank kind of looks like. Shots are short, just not able to finish at the rim. You know, who's the energy guy, who's the juice guy that's going to provide something for you. And you know, so, but they have handled this extremely well, and I think that they are, you know, nowhere near wanting to be done. I think that they just keep hooping and keep believing. And it's guys like Christian, it's guys like Darion Williams, it's guys like Elijah Hawkins, who played maybe one of his worst games of the entire season statistically, but who hits a massive three in overtime. Who has a couple of defensive stops with in regulation and in overtime with the game on the line, and he's playing with 4 fouls. Like that's just what you're talking about. There's just no quit here, and they're just going to continue to be a tough out. Now, Florida may damn well be good enough to do that. And you know, what scares me here is they may not even have to play their best game to beat you. You're just going to have to play really, really well. You can't have another poor shooting night. You can't do it. I mean, and I'm not saying you have to go Alabama on everybody and make 25 threes, but you get down 16 against these guys, and boy, it's going to be really difficult, just because of how easily and how many different options they have that can score. Because at some point you're going to be like, okay, because they're not going to play great defense at times, but you got to get stops too, and you just can't let yourself get behind. So you're going to have to score with them, and with that, you're going to have to hit shots. But what's crazy is Elijah Martin, one of their starting guards. He was Vlad Goldein's teammate at Florida Atlantic a few years ago. But they've just got some different pieces that I think have been really put together. That it's a nightmare matchup, and they play like 9 guys, but you know, it's really like 6 that get the bulk of the minutes. But man, all 6 can really pop you, and step out and shoot it, punish you around the rim. I mean, you know, as somebody told me, they got 5 ass kickers out there at any one time, and it's a problem trying to match up defensively, because they'll find your weakness and exploit it.
We've talked about over the last few rounds, kind of the dynamic as far as the matchup and what that means for Texas Tech, either inside, outside. Is there, you know, opportunities geared more towards the perimeter or three-point shooting, like in round number 1, or is it more so trying to get things done at the basket like we saw in round number 2? I think it's just a guess, but when you talk about a team like Florida, probably so complete in all phases or all aspects that it's not going to be quite so lopsided as what we talked about in some previous rounds, inside to outside. But I mean, it's got to start inside for Tech, doesn't it? I mean, isn't it right, even with this type of formidable challenge in front of them, isn't it right back to JT and Darion Williams to try and get going? I don't really know where else you would start, but what do you think about the matchup?
Yeah, and the other thing is I will admit I probably shouldn't have bought into it as much, but I was stunned that Chance McMillan did not play.
Was that
And
is that a game time deal? I mean, we were texting about it prior to the game, and it seemed like right then is when this was.
I think, according to Grant, I think that he had decided.
First, today's episode brought to you by Nissan, and we're all about the stats because numbers don't lie. And when it comes to the all-new Nissan Armada PRO-4X, the numbers are on an MVP level. With the ability to tow up to 8,500 pounds, it can literally carry the whole team plus all the gear wherever you need to go. It's powered by a twin-turbo V6 engine, delivering the strength and performance to handle highways, back roads, and everything in between. And with room for up to 8 people, the Armada PRO-4X is built for big crews, big adventures, and bigger memories. Whether you're exploring off-road trails or rolling up to the arena, the Armada PRO-4X brings power, versatility, and style wherever you go. So take your adventures to new heights in the all-new Nissan Armada PRO-4X. Learn more today at nissanusa.com.
Today's episode brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Fixes tired fast. Whether you've got a long list of tasks at work or a bundle of DIY projects to tackle at home, take a 5 Hour Energy shot so you can cover everything with energy to spare. If you're like me, you've always got a lengthy list of things to get done around the house. So when you get your supplies for any project, don't forget the most essential one, a 5 Hour Energy shot. 5 Hour Energy shots give you the feeling of alertness and energy you need to get in the zone. And that's why 5 Hour Energy is the brand hardworking people like you have trusted for over 20 years to give them the alert, energized feeling they need to get through a busy and hectic day. And you always know where to find 5 Hour Energy shots, right at the cash register at nearly every convenience, drug, and grocery store nationwide. Even better, stock up on money-saving multi-packs to make sure you never run out of delicious, energizing 5 Hour Energy shots. And right now, if you go to 5hourenergy.com, that's the number 5hourenergy.com, and get some 5 Hour Energy today, you can use our promo code LOCKEDONCFB. That's LOCKEDONCFB to receive 20% off your order. This offer only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions and does not apply to subscription orders. Boost your day, boost your life, and get in the Get It Done zone by going to 5hourenergy.com today.
I think, according to Grant, I think that he had decided that, because if you ask enough people about this kind of injury in general, okay, I don't know at what severity he's got it. You've heard oblique, bruised rib, whatever. But I just know from the second that it happened in Kansas City versus Baylor, it's he's sitting down and it's like he's laboring to like breathe and expand his, like when we all sit there and do it. And obviously with basketball, you're going to get to running up down the floor and you get to breathing hard, right? And I think there's so I can't say that I know at what level pain tolerance he's dealing with. I don't know if you can. There obviously is not a rub some dirt on it when it's like you're talking about your whole, like it's not a bone or a ligament or a whatever. It's like this whole center console of your being that you need to hold it steady, but it's meant to expand, but like I don't want it to, because that's when it hurts and it freaks me out or whatever. So I don't know, but I guess I'm not going to rule out that he couldn't see some time here versus Florida. I mean, because it doesn't get worse as time goes by, and I'll double down on this part of it. I just think it would do everybody some good if they would just look up, because here's the scene last night, Cowan, or what day is it? Here was the scene on Thursday night. Is that it's been sent out to media. He's not going to play. So he's out there in a t-shirt and sweatpants and everything. And we're on the air, and he's wiping his eyes. He's very emotional. He comes over to be the captain with the meetings with the referees, which is normal before every game. And he's struggling to fight him back, and he was losing said battle. And he and D5 kind of picked his t-shirt up over his mouth and was like, I'm guessing he said something like, "Hey, dude, you don't have to be out here." And he immediately turned away. But he was just struggling with the whole situation. He's got a ton of family and friends there and everything. And so you just hate it. This is not a soft, weak kid. I think the whole thing just sucks. But again, I just think that there still continues to be a chance. And I really, I know that's his name. I always feel like we're doing the puns when I don't mean to, but McMillan could in fact see some time versus Florida. I really thought you'd see it versus Arkansas. That's not what happened. And so I guess we'll see. I just mentally, I do think it would do worlds of good to these guys battling their ass off right now. That because at some points last night or Thursday night, Cowan, Grant McCaslin looks at the bench and he could be frustrated all he wants with somebody out there. There is just no button to push. Like there is no sub to make. And that's a scary feeling as a head coach when there's just you feel helpless.
Seems like the first few rounds we've been talking a lot about rebounding battle looming large. We talked going into this most recent one against Arkansas about really needing to be clean in the turnover column. So are there some things like that that are standing out to you for this one? Maybe the exact same things or something different?
It's going to take a much cleaner game from Elijah Hawkins. I think, there's just not many things that Florida, they're number one seed for a reason. This is what you sign up for though when you get to this point in the tournament. I mean, you get to this deal that there is not like, hey, we'll give you a gimme here. No, man, if you're gonna punch your ticket to go to the Holy Grail known as the Final Four, you're gonna have to earn it. And that's what this bracket has dictated to you. I felt like that when you're playing Arkansas, there was like a little NC State component to it where you play this Power Four team with all kinds of talent that's just taken a while to get it all figured out. This Florida team has been a monster from the get-go. I mean, they've they've just been an absolute monster from the jump, and they just score it like crazy. The one interesting thing, and this is the part that we wondered if it would derail them, is that their head coach Todd Golden was under investigation in the middle of this season. If you go back to, Florida was a preseason top 5 team, I think. If you go back into last fall, the old student paper there at Florida snooped around and like they started paying attention to Todd Golden's social media activities, or so they said, and they had all these apps that were tracking all these things. And he was stalking girls, and he was doing the whole, I don't know what all was going on, like on campus and everything. You can go Google it and just be careful what you're Googling because there's a lot out there. But there's a lot of data. There's a lot of websites that tracked who he was following and unfollowing on the social media accounts and everything like that. Anyway, so they opened up this Title IX investigation, and I watched Golden's press conference a couple days ago before the Sweet 16 games, and he was asked about it. And he's from the Bay Area. He played at St. Mary's under Coach Bennett out here. He was a Gale in college and all that stuff. But he worked under Auburn or worked under Bruce Pearl at Auburn, and he's now obviously the head coach at Florida. But a lot of people thought that this investigation would derail them, or would they fire him? What would they find? Well, Florida comes back and says, hey, there's nothing here. I think a lot of people go, really? Okay, interesting. So I don't know, but that was what was potentially a huge landmine that could have derailed this season, but to this point it has not. But this is going to take your A game. I mean, there is no doubt. And I would say this too. You could play really, really well and still lose. That's how good Florida is on paper, and watching them in front of me. And they've got a stud in Walter Clayton Jr. And we'll just kind of see what you do with it. But you'll have to shoot it well, low turnover game, a lot of the things that you've been seeing. But it needs to be cleaner. But you also can't go through spurts of a drought like you did last night, because if they pull away from you, you're going to have a really difficult time of hanging. Now, you can score on these dudes. They're not elite on defense. Like you can, and they turned it over 13 times in the first half versus Maryland, and Maryland was able to hang. But then they came out of the locker room, and Florida was like, "Okay, enough playing with our food. We're gonna go ahead and shift it into another gear, take off, and leave you."
Can't wait to see how it shakes out, man. This is what you sign up for, is matchups like this against opponents like this if you want to get to where you want to go. And that's the Final Four and maybe a national title game. Got to get by Florida first, though. So looking forward to this matchup, Chris. Enjoy the ball game, man. Appreciate a little extra time to get ready for this one here today. And we'll see what the Red Raiders do to follow that act. Tough one to follow, but good luck.
If I talk to you victoriously after this next one, hide everybody, hug everybody, because this show is going to San Antonio on the river in the Alamo City. And if you've never experienced what a Final Four is like with your team in it, I would say pay whatever price it takes to get you in that building, because it's the holy grail, man. It just is. And I mean, you're 40 minutes away. So we'll see if you got an A to A plus game in you, and I'll keep sucking down all the Gatorade I can partake in and get rid of it. And away we go.
That's right. Chris Level just gave you permission. Tell it to the wife, whoever's giving you trouble. Spend whatever it takes if we get past Florida and have a reason to head to San Antonio. All right,
And my
Chris,
wife and child, we will do the same thing. I've already told my wife and son, who did not get to go to Minneapolis. My daughter's off in college in Stillwater, but I said, I will do whatever it takes to get you there. It'll be a memory you'll never ever forget, regardless of the result of the game, just the experience of it. And that would be my advice to everybody. So I'm probably need to be quiet because I'm probably just upping the prices. And what's interesting is you're the very first team that would be able to punch a ticket to the Final Four. So you've got a bit of a head start on everybody.
True.
But yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves. It's going to take a lot to beat Todd Golden's Gators. They are well coached. They're very good. And so we'll see what we get, man. But I'm thankful for the opportunity, and it's been a pleasure in San Fran. Either way, I'm coming home. I just hope I'm coming home with another dub. Yeah, another dub from the West Coast.
That's right. Let's eat a W. Chewing on it right there. All right, Chris.
Yes.
Appreciate it, and appreciate everybody for being out there. Excuse me. Thank you for your time as always, and shout out to the everydayers, the Matador Mob as well. Hit the show notes and find a link to a free 14-day trial. That's your direct line to Chris and myself with one-on-one text sent straight to your phone. Here we go. We'll see what happens. Red Raiders and Gators coming up. Chris, we'll see you for the next round, and we'll see everybody else as well. Thanks for the time as always. Hope to see you back on Locked On Texas Tech.